Hey guys, it's time for the weekly twin flame guidance reading. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Overall, we have reach out. So I'm getting that this is a time of communication in the physical, real world communication, teamwork in building. Okay, and it's that time for them to begin to work together as a team in building and creating their life together and what it is that they want. And I'm getting that this building is revolving around some kind of specific things for each of them. For the feminine, it's about her deciding clearly what she wants, so that she can have it. It's about her having to make a decision, okay, about what it is that she truly wants, in order to be able to have it. Okay, she cannot have union if she can't decide deeply within herself. And I'm getting that for the masculine, it is about releasing karmic energy or releasing things that he needs to release, okay, so that they can build. And this week is about him getting out of resistance to that. Okay, it's about the teamwork. For the feminine, it's about getting out of feelings, how she feels, and just moving into the unknown. Okay, moving into this unknown space. Okay, so I'm going to start this unknown space of just making that decision and what it means. Now, I'm going to start with the masculine. The masculine is in a space where he's kind of looking at the things he's lost. Okay, some are, not able to see maybe feeling some disappointment and loss about the things that he may have to give up, that he feels he may have to give up. That is really his gain, but to him it feels like a loss. This is about this week. The masculine has to get into the universal flow, and I'm getting that getting into the universal flow means growing up, no longer looking for a mommy. Okay, no longer looking for a mommy. Rising up into his divine masculine energy, and him letting go of that whole thing of, because see, then we have release your ex. So the thing with the karmics for the masculine is they are like mommies. It's like this nurturing, like a baby, coddling a baby, and that feels great for the masculine, but he knows the universe is moving him into a space of outgrowing that. He needs to rise up and meet a woman, and where he can have an equal partner and not a motherly nurturing figure, because, the more he moves into wholeness, the more he doesn't need that. So, but he feels some loss of it. He feels some sense of loss of letting go of that karmic energy, of wanting that mommy, and someone to kind of coddle him like a baby. He feels like it's a loss. He just feels some sense of loss of letting that go, and having to move into something new. But at the time, it's kind of like he can't see that he feels like he's losing something, but he's gaining so much more, you know, but he doesn't necessarily see that at the time. He's having to kind of just flow with the universal energies. Now, what I'm getting also is he's at a place where mentally he's still going through some battles, you know, he's still fighting some things mentally. Because this is a time for him to communicate in freedom, and to really go into the union, and go into that harmonic energy between him and his divine feminine. Mentally, he has some blocks in that trap him from his freedom to fully communicate with her. And it is related to that karmic energy of that mothering, wanting a mother type of thing, that he gets from the karmic. And he's realizing, though, he overcomes this battle, because I'm getting that he's realizing that looking to the karmic for this mothering, nurturing, you know, babying him, coddling him like a baby type of energy, he realizes that he's been looking at things with rose-colored glasses. Like, that's a facade. That's not the thing that's going to get him where he needs to be. That's not what he really needs. He's realizing that he was under some type of facade. He wasn't seeing things clearly, and he's realizing that, and this is what is empowering him to let go of the karmic and release the karmic, and that energy, and he's ready to go into a new life and grab hold of a new life and enter into the new beginning with his feminine. And that's what this week is about, is him getting out of that, you know, he's breaking out of that looking at things as some type of fantasy, and he's beginning to look at what is really best. What do I really want? You know, and he's making that decision, and this is where he's coming into just being able to release the karmic energy. Now, for the feminine, this is a time of her feeling like she's going into an unknown space. Okay. She's feeling like she just feels like there's a lot that's unknown. Okay. For the karmics, they're walking away from their karmic connections, and they're realizing what they want, and they're moving towards their destiny. Okay. So they're choosing differently. For the, those who are in a twin flame connection, which I'm going to do a video that breaks that down a little bit more, because one person, here's how it works. You can be one person's karmic, but you're someone else's twin flame. Or someone else can be your karmic, but there's someone else's twin flame. Okay? So there's karmic energy, period. Okay? I'm going to break that down in another video, though, and kind of explain that. So in a situation where there may be a divine masculine, but then the one who thinks that she's his divine feminine is actually his karmic. Or it can be a divine feminine who has a karmic that she thinks is her divine masculine, but he's going to release her because he's someone else's divine masculine, but he's her karmic. She's someone else's twin flame. So, and then the twin flames are going to be going through this process and coming together. Okay, they're going to be going through these processes, and they're actually communicating more, reaching out to each other more, and things are coming together more in the physical. So what I'm getting for the feminine is this is about her letting go of how she felt and just being so into feelings, And moving into knowing, okay? Knowing is different than feelings, okay? And that knowing is always like this unknown space. It's never what you thought. It's never based on what you thought you felt and all of that, okay? Because remember, karmics, it doesn't mean that they're not divine feminines, okay? They're just someone else's divine feminine. But for these divine feminines who are in connections with their twin, their actual twin, is, you know, the feminines are moving into that unknown space, okay, where she's having to embrace her true desire. She's having to get out of this duality within herself, and she's having to come into unity with herself, so that her destiny can manifest. So she's letting go of what is not in her truth and her true desires. Okay. And she's moving away from that. So she may be moving away from a karmic herself, and towards her divine masculine, or she may be moving away from her focus on the past with her divine masculine, and then she's moving in towards, well, this is what I really want. You know, I'm letting go of these things that happened before, and you know, I'm gonna allow this to manifest. You know, she's getting into that decisive stage where she's clearly making a decision about what she wants. She's feeling more in her power and in control of herself and her life. She's taking more responsibility for herself. Okay, so this is where she's not really willing. She's not trying to baby the masculine and make, you know, she's standing in her power. She's moving out of that type of energy, if she was in that energy. And she's to a place where she's making comparisons in her life. She's looking at what's stable for her, what's good for her. She's looking at what's best for her own transformation, how she needs to change things for herself. And she's getting to a place of making some decisions based on that. She's getting out of just daydreaming. You know, she's merging the physical and spiritual worlds together. And then she's feeling powerful enough to actually move in that, in her physical reality. Okay. She's at a place where she's moving into deeper loyalty to what it is between her and her masculine and what they've been building, all that they've built up thus far. Okay. And she's getting to a place of being able to see the foundation that they're building, the stability that's there. She's getting into the joy, away from everything that kind of happened between them. And even with him moving away from the karmic and towards her, she's able to see, it's like she's able to find her loyalty to him again, even if she felt betrayed. She's seeing the foundation between them, okay, and the foundation that they've built spiritually. And she is able to see, she has to see the possibilities. She has to see the possibilities based on this foundation, okay, based on the stability that's really there, and moving out of these things about like how she feels about certain things that happened, when it's like, yeah, these things happen, but there's this stability here with this. There's something real here with this. Okay, with this masculine, with her true masculine, there's something real here. There's a foundation here. There's some stability here. Okay. And so this is a time of her making that decision within herself. Some of the feminines may have moved away from the masculines in search of just something that would cater more to her ego desires and her deficiencies. What happens is, for both of them, they move towards things that when they're playing out their karma, when the twins are playing out their karma, they move towards things that support their ego desires. Okay, they move towards things that don't support their true mission, their soul path, what their soul needs, what they truly need. They move towards what feels good, what feels best. Because remember, spiritual evolution and all of that stuff is not, it doesn't feel good, okay? It doesn't cater to the ego. It doesn't tell us we're perfect as we are. We're okay just as we are. It tells us, no, we have to come up higher. We have to get into that union with our higher self. And that doesn't, when they're in that karmic place, or they're playing out any karmic energies, they move away from that, and they move towards what caters more to the ego desires, what caters more to the lower nature. And so this is where the masculine moves towards that motherly, like, motherly type of energy, instead of moving toward what he knows is best and getting out of that fantasy of it, and knowing that he does need to nurture himself. He does need to learn how to support himself emotionally. He does need to, all of that. And then for the feminine, it's getting away from, moving away from her divine masculine, that's actually giving her the space and room to heal her own emotional issues, to work through the things that she needs to work through, instead of and she's having to stop moving toward karmic situations to fulfill that void that she has to feel within herself, things like that. Okay, so these decisions are being made at this time, and it's bringing the twins closer in the physical. The masculines are releasing that karmic energy of, that's what was kind of holding that karmic energy there, is that, not wanting to grow up into the divine masculine, but wanting to stay in that karmic energy of, a little boy who needs a mommy. And the divine feminine was, doing this in the same way, not being able to choose her masculine, not being able to make the clear decision of what she wanted. Does she want the physical path of ego and just feeling better, or does she want the spiritual path of evolving to her highest state, to her goddess state, to being able to live out her soul's mission? And she's having to make that decision. They could both be having to make decisions about karmic partners, or karmic situations, or even karmic energy, or the invisible karmic, like where there's not really a karmic, but then there's this karmic energy between them that still kind of plays out in this way, where there may not be an actual mother, a karmic mother there that's playing mommy, but there may be that energy of him still focusing on wanting that. So then he's not moving and choosing and moving towards the one, because he's still looking for this mommy. So it can play out in various different ways within these connections. Okay, but this is what is happening, and this is the guidance for them at this time as they transition and move through these energies. If anybody is struggling with these, I do soul healing sessions where, we will talk. It's an hour long, and I can help you to see some of the blockages or things that may be getting in your way as it pertains to love, or as it pertains to your soul. It's a soul healing session. Okay. You can do readings for, looking at your current situation and things like that. Mindful, guys, I'm behind on readings right now. Okay. I wasn't feeling well, and I was off a few days because I wasn't feeling well, and so I'm behind on readings. Okay. So everybody who hasn't gotten their reading back, they're coming. Okay. I'm getting caught up now that I'm back. Okay. Also, guys, I'm available on Instant Go, where you can ask me a quick question on there. The link for that is also in the description box below. For those who are having a hard time with some of the energies, with rising up out of the karmic energies, the 5 Hours to True Love Bootcamp can help with that as well. Okay. Because it is designed to help people get in the right place in their mental, in their mind, in their emotions, and in their physical world, to be in a place that will magnetize your true love to you. Okay, rather than you having to go like searching for it and finding it. It's quite a bit of information. I think the whole thing is really like closer to 6 hours long, but there's breaks for the exercises. So that's why I called it the 5 hours to True Love Boot Camp. But I recommend that as well. Okay, guys. So I will see you guys soon. Love you. Bye.